Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury releases in just 4 more days, this Friday, and I cannot wait to get my hands on this game once again and play the brand new mode, Bowser's Fury itself. But before the game drops, I decided to go back to the original Mario 3D World and see what were the best bosses and rank them all, starting from 9 and ending on number 1. These bosses will be ranked based on multiple different situations such as difficulty, the arena style, and also how the boss participates and how fun the boss actually is in general. But before we get started, I want to thank the channel members. You can easily become a member yourself for an incredibly cheap price. For about $2 a month, you can have tons of chat emojis, your own loyalty badge, and much more when I live stream and even when I post in the comments section. But without further ado, let's get into the Super Mario 3D World bosses ranked. Coming in at number 9, we have Boom Boom. Boom Boom comes to us from all the way back to Mario Bros. 3 and has appeared in almost every single Mario game up to date. Not every single one, but a lot of them, we can all say. And he plays pretty much the same way that we can all expect. He spins around the room, and then once you jump on his head, he jumps into his shell and tries to attack Mario. It's relatively easy and extremely easy to beat. And I tell you what, it doesn't really feel like a final boss of that world. It feels more like a mini-boss, but it acts as the final boss of certain worlds. So I don't know why it's this easy, but that's why it appears at the top of the list at number 9. Coming in at number 8, we have Pom Pom. Pom Pom is pretty much the same thing as Boom Boom, but a little bit more interesting. For instance, she splits into multiple different copies and can throw a ninja star at Mario. It is up to Mario to figure out which copy she is by finding the one with the pink ninja star. This one's kind of interesting, still extremely easy, and once you find the pink one, all you have to do is hit her with your power-up or just jump on her head, and you really shouldn't have a problem. She also serves as a end-of-the-world boss, which is still confusing to me as it's so easy, but it is what it is. She's number 8. Coming in at number 7, we have Prince Bully, which actually is a mini-boss. We see Prince Bully twice, and it's a very relatively easy fight. You toss him into a pipe, he goes around the pipe and comes out another end, and then you have to stomp him once again as he's shriveled up in a little tube. You can either jump on his head or use different power-ups such as a boomerang flower or a fire flower in order to hit him back. And it's, once again, super easy. You stick him to the pipe, he goes through, and then you step on him 3 times and he's dead. The second encounter causes him to spread blue fire across the room, which can chase after Mario for a bit. But overall, he's an extremely easy boss fight and really shouldn't take any much more of your time. But he's a little bit more interesting than Boom Boom and Pom Pom. Number 6, we have Boss Broder. Boss Broder is just like the Broder enemies, but now he's a boss. He's bigger, and he's got other types of particles all over him that make him kind of invincible to be picked up or thrown, but you can pick up his Broder buddies and toss them at him. His only main attack is he spins around and shoots lava balls at Mario, which can kind of randomly hit him if you're not careful, but it is kind of fun to pick up his little buddies and toss them at him, and they'll also awaken if you hold them too long, giving a little bit of difficulty with this boss fight. But overall, it's extremely simple. It is a boss that ends the world, which doesn't quite feel like it should, but at the end of the day, he is better than the previous mentions on this list. Coming in at number 5, we have King Thunk, which is a giant metal gate that moves back and forth and is controlled by a little guy in the middle with hands and feet. His job is to spin this grate around and try to flip it on Mario. You can land in the inside, and your goal is to hit him on his giant X weak spot on his behind. And if you do so, you have to do that 3 times in order to defeat him. He's actually kind of difficult when he starts moving faster in his 2 and 3 phase, and he can kind of put up a fight if you're not paying attention. And it's kind of hard to position yourself to make sure that you're in the middle of that grate without getting smashed by him or the spiked outside. And it kind of poses a fight for you for a little bit. But once again, it's not that hard. It's 3 hits and he's done, and there are still some better inclusions on this list than King Thunk. But I like him nevertheless. He's kind of a unique design. Motley Boss Blob is a weird boss, and coming in at number 4. He is this little Koopaling looking creature with a clown hat and gear, and he turns into this giant creepy jester covered in black and with 2 golden eyes. He jumps up and down and smashes on the ground until he pops open with a whole bunch of little gooeys all over the place trying to attack Mario. You can use a double cherry to have different copies of Mario jump all over the place and try to smash him as he runs away. He repeats this 2 more times and then you're done. It actually can be kind of hard to get caught up and kind of confused as to where you are and caught up in all that little goop balls, and it can be kind of confusing, and he does have a level of difficulty that can be kind of frustrating your first couple of playthroughs. And he definitely has a second version which is a lot harder. He's a giant gold gooey guy, and he jumps up and down causing shockwaves on the ground, and it can be very confusing to get mixed up with the shockwaves and the gooey guys that he leaves behind. So you're going to want to make sure you have extra copies of Mario ready to go. Coming in at number 3, we have Meowser. The final boss of the game is number 3, Nintendo Land? Yes, it is. And let me explain why. You never actually fight Bowser here. You never physically fight him. You're running up a tower the entire boss fight. And that's all. You finally get to the end and just start hitting a giant POW block. But that's the majority of the fight. There's really not a fight here. And that doesn't mean this is a terrible boss fight by any means. It's very cinematic. I love the way it slowly goes up this tower, but there's many times where Mario will just have to sit and wait for the screen to move, and it doesn't feel as climactic and as energetic as it might want you to seem like it's feeling. But overall, it is a really good boss fight. I love how Bowser duplicates himself and turns into these many different copies and makes the battle a lot more intense than what it actually seems to be. And it can be a very fun boss battle the first couple times you play it, but after going back many times and playing it over and over again, you'll find a path and a route that's just extremely easy and makes you just kind of wait for Bowser to make his move, and then you slowly ascend up the tower in less of a dramatic fashion. Number 2, you have Histocra and Queen Histocra. You'll fight both of them sometime in your journey separate, but there is a special galaxy or world at the end of the game which allows you to fight both of them at the same time in a boss rush mode. And this is a very fun boss fight. Your goal is to use Cat Mario or just regular Mario to climb up these snakes and jump on the plates and then jump on the Histocrat or the Queen Histocrat. Now if you're good enough, you can actually jump off of one and land on the other for a double damage boost, but overall this is a pretty fun boss fight. You have to hurry up and jump off the plates before they break and the snakes eat you, and you also have to dodge the fire coming in from both the Queen and the King, which can be very difficult if you're not paying attention. This boss battle has tons of it going in its favor. It has a great boss arena, it has tons of things going on as you're just flying through the stage, dodging fireballs on the ground, lava from the air, and even the snakes trying to hit you. It can be a very intense boss battle, and I love the intensity, I love the way the boss battle works, I love the design of the bosses. I just think this is a really fun boss battle in the game, and does a lot more than the others on the list. And coming in at number 1, we have the OG Koopa King himself, Bowser, in his super cool Bowser car. So what he does is travel down this path in his car, and he throws soccer ball bombs at Mario. It's your job to hit him back while also dodging things on the track that might hurt Mario, such as spikes or lava pillars or what have you. And your job is to pretty much just hit these things back and dodge the ones that are already about to detonate and just blow up his car to the point where he cannot drive it any longer. Now the first battle is okay, and it's still a really good battle for the first battle of the game, but it's not until you fight him towards the end of the game in his car where it really cranks up the intensity. This time he has a flashy new highlighted neon car, and it looks really cool. And he's throwing lava bubbles at you, there's lava pillars coming up, there's spikes along the path, you have to make jumps over gaps, and continue to chase the car down, or it will go extremely slow, continuing to attack at you. What's cool about this boss fight is you can also use items, such as a boomerang flower that I use here, not only to hit the soccer balls back, but you can throw the boomerang at his actual car, and hit it about 4 to 5 times for it to actually count as one soccer ball attack, which is pretty cool that it's able to register that. And I just thought it was another cool way to have an open boss fight to allow the player to do some things that you normally can't do. But I really like this boss fight. I think that the fact that you're actually fighting Bowser this time around instead of Meowser just climbing a tower adds a lot more depth into an actual boss fight. And I think this one is probably the best boss fight in the entirety of Mario 3D World. And that is all the bosses in Super Mario 3D World ranked. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, if you would make any changes, and let me know what your list is and if you agree or not down below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you stop, leave a like, and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Mario 3D World, Bowser's Fury, and Nintendo in general. And I will see you all on the next one.